Hi there, hey there, ho there, we're as happy as can be. Eddie, Bob, Julio, another day, another week, another session of 3 Ball Walk. Yep, lots of exciting things happening, a lot of baseball. Yankees and Red Sox. What? Oh, I'm sorry, I need to be looking at the Yankees and Red Sox leading the majors right now. And I'll tell you, the Yankees have a better record than the Houston Astros. And Houston's gone into a little bit of a loss there. They haven't won the last couple, but they were the best team in baseball a couple weeks ago, and now they're number 3 behind the Yankees. The surprise in the American League is, you guys said it all along, is the wild card was decided. Just like last year, the 2 wild cards were coming from the West. This year, whoever doesn't win between the Yankees and the Red Sox, and whoever doesn't win between the Mariners and the Astros.
Not so fast, my friend.
But
not so fast, my friend.
And you guys every week, you still with it? Yeah, that's who's going to be the wild cards, but not so fast.
No, well, not even them. I mean, it's kind of tightened up.
Well, the A's actually pulled ahead of them there.
Yeah, they're ahead of them. Yep.
They're ahead of them now.
Yeah.
In the wild card
by a half game.
Well, and you know, Tampa's only 7.5 back.
Tampa has the purge, and now they're 7.5 back. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of like the movie Major League. You know, maybe they got a picture of the owner up in his underwear. I don't know. And they're trying to see what's underneath his.
And the other team with the purge is the Blue Jays, and all of a sudden they have no chance of getting back in it, but they've pulled the Tampa bullpen strategy.
Yep.
You know, every 4 or 5 days, just go bullpen by committee and save some starters and get your guys some work.
You know, that might catch on.
Well, 3 teams are doing it now.
In this day and age.
The Padres, the Blue Jays, and the Rays are doing it.
In this day and age, when you don't have dominant arms that can stay for a long time. I mean,
well, I don't think they want arms to stay for a long time.
Who is they?
Just the powers that be. I mean, basically.
You mean the general managers or the coaches?
Well, the general managers pass it down. The baseball gurus. Ponce de Leon decides he's got a no-hitter through 7. Who cares? No-hitter in your major league debut. You've thrown 105 pitches. You're done. You know, and the next day, Gomer Pyle. Well, they didn't pull him. They left him in, and he lost his no-hitter. 2 guys, major league debuts. No-hitters through 6. First time in the history of Major League Baseball. Same team.
Wow, I missed that. I was in Chicago watching the Cubs.
It happened just
so what was it like being a Wrigley Field?
Well, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about it in the second half.
Yeah, so talking Yankees, and one of the things I want to do is from now on, I'm just going to bring up some random little thing and see how good you guys are at non-baseball. And I think our listeners like this kind of stuff. That's why they tune in, because they want to know something that, hey, I never realized that. Okay? There are 4 guys in Major League history to hit home runs in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, and in their 40s.
Really?
How about that?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Willie Mays.
You guys are 0 for 2.
Really? Griffey didn't?
Did Griffey play to 40?
No, Mantle played to 40.
Bonds?
Griffey didn't play to 40.
Bonds? No?
Bonds went to Arizona State, so he never got to...
Play in his 20s?
He never, I don't think he played as a team.
It wouldn't be Mantle because he retired at 36.
Man, I guess it's going to have to be Latin players then.
Vladimir Guerrero.
No. One of them is a Latin player, but you wouldn't think of it because he's from Miami, actually.
A-Rod.
A-Rod is one.
Was a clue.
Jeter, maybe?
No.
No? Jeter didn't get it caught up?
Jeter, I don't think Jeter played when he was a teenager.
Yeah. Jeter wasn't in the big leagues as a teenager. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, because it's got to be something that lasts a long time and started early. And I don't know that I can name you 4 guys that played through their teens, 20s,
One guy's from Miami, A-Rod. One guy's from Tampa. From Tampa. Recent? Not recent, but retired a few years ago.
Left-handed?
Right-handed bat. 500 home runs.
I'm gonna hurt myself whenever I find out, but I don't know.
Played for the Brewers, the Padres, the Marlins, the Braves, the Yankees, the Dodgers.
McGriff?
guy named Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield, interesting.
He came up at
He
18.
came at 18, yeah. He was with the
Brewers.
Yeah.
I forgot that. So there you go.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, Sheffield.
Another, okay, A-Rod, Gary Sheffield, a guy from Georgia that was pretty good in his day. Old guy.
Did
You
Hank Aaron-
never think of as a home run hitter, although he has the highest career batting average in Major League history.
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb.
Wow.
Homered in his teens and his 40s.
Okay.
And then the other one you could have guessed forever, Rusty Staub.
Played
Look at
forever.
that. Did he? But I didn't
know
think
he
he'd
came up
come
in
up
his
as
I
a
know teenager,
teenager.
right?
Yeah.
But it's a great list because it's
Yeah.
just so
It
random.
is completely random.
And you've got to have done something to be on that list.
And Rusty Staub's a guy you could say should be in the Hall of Fame too. I mean, he's a La Grande Orange, man. I mean, he's one of the greatest players of all time.
Well, you look at those guys, you don't stick around that long.
No.
Unless
If you're not
you were
good.
if you're not very, very
Right.
good.
Yeah.
You know, and Sheffield is Hall of Famer if it wasn't for the issues
Yeah.
around him. A-Rod, the same thing.
Yep.
Ty Cobb, obviously. So
Right.
he's the only one that people say, oh no, he was
Yeah.
very. But he is the Don Sutton of hitting.
The top.
You play long enough, those numbers have to be.
Sorry, that's good. Yeah. You play long enough. That's exactly right.
So, but we'll do that every week. So next week we'll have
Don Sutton
something
hitting.
interesting.
That's a pretty interesting short list there to be on.
I'll tell you what was, and I didn't write it down, and then I tried to research it and everything for you guys. Your boy, your little 20-year-old guy, who was the youngest guy in the major leagues last year for the Braves.
Albies?
Yep.
Albies became the 6th Atlanta Brave to hit 20 home runs as a 20-year-old.
Wow.
And the only guy I remember on the list is Eddie Matthews. And I totally went blank on the other 4 guys. And so I tried to research it because I thought you guys would enjoy
Six
that.
as a 20-year-old?
6 guys hit 20 home runs as a 20-year-old.
As a 20-year-old.
Albies became the 6th one. He's 20 and he
Not in their 20s, but as a 20-year-old.
Albies is 20 and he hit his 20th home run the other day and he became the 6th Brave to do it.
Wow. And Chipper Jones wasn't on that list?
Chipper, good chance Chipper was on that list.
I don't think
I took my mind, I said, wow, that's a good thing. And I thought it would be easy for me, later on, a few days later, to research and find it. And I can't find it to say,
Well, we'll put our crack research staff on it and see what they can come up with.
the research
Phil?
department.
Yeah.
You got it? They'll do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. that'll get it.
Braves, 20-year-olds to hit 20 home runs.
Yeah.
We
Thank
got
you,
2, Matthews and Albies.
We'll see.
You think Aaron did it?
No.
He hit 13 his first year.
And how old was he?
I think he was 21, I think.
So, okay.
That's
But
interesting.
the Braves,
The Braves are hanging in there.
they're hanging in there.
They're fading a little
Deals.
bit.
Yep.
I think I'm to the point where I've watched the Marlins too much. Last night I turned it on. It was the top of the 8th. The Marlins were up to bat, and they were winning 2-1. And the guy supposedly talking about how the guy had thrown a jump, 4-hitter through, and they were pulling them. And the Marlins made their outs in the top. And I said to my wife, I go, "Wow, this is a unique game. The Marlins didn't get blown out right out of the gate. They'll lose it in the bottom of the 9th because it's a close game."
And they did.
And they did. And I mean, the guy comes in the 8th and pitched a 1-2-3-8.
Right.
And then they bring in the dude that's got a last name about that big, their
I
closer,
know you're talking about, yep.
Faircloth or
Bear Claw. Bear Claw. Yes. I know you
they bring him in, who leads the majors with 6 blown saves.
Now 7?
And since July 2nd, he's 4 of 5 blowing saves. He's only got 1 save. So he's hot now.
Yeah.
So he's got the momentum going.
He's got it going.
So the dude they bring in the reliever who gets a 1-2-3-8. And then they bring him in the 9th, the 2-1 lead against the Phillies. And
Against the Phillies?
It was the
Well, they're
Phillies.
trying to throw it.
Yeah.
They want the Phillies to win.
They want the Phillies to
because
win.
you guys right
Conspiracy
now,
theory.
you guys would
We'd
be
have
in
been in
first
first
place if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
So he goes out there. When you got a 2-1 lead, you want to make sure that the
Don't
leadoff
walk
guy.
the leadoff guy.
You want to make sure he doesn't hit a home run and tie the game up.
Well, I'd rather
So-
do a home run than walk, and then
Well, he didn't give him anything to hit. There was no way he was going to hit a home run because it was 4 pitches and he's on
no,
first base.
you don't. Oh, you walk. It's over then.
Next guy pops out to second.
Wow.
Doesn't matter.
Still hope.
He could get.
Were they playing? They were playing in Philly, right?
They were playing in Philly.
So the home crowd's into it.
Oh, it's loud. Guy at first. Next guy, it's a little dribbler off the end of the bat. The shortstop's back playing for a double play.
Yeah, base hit.
Basically eats it, has no play. First and second.
Line drive in the gap.
No, and then it got really bad.
Oh.
But he got lucky. He threw 6 straight balls that had, I mean, nowhere near the plate. So if you figure 6, the first 4 load the bases because he walked another guy on 4 straight.
And he had an 0-2.
And then he goes, well, here was the best part. He goes ball 1, high and outside. Ball 2, it grazes the guy's butt, okay? Goes it behind him. The catcher can't catch it. And the guy at third winds up seeing it, takes off, but it hits the bricks at the new Phillies and bounces straight back to the catcher. And he's there, and I mean, he'd have been dead duck at home. And the guy sits there, starts going, saw the ricochet off the wall, turns around and dives back into third base. Okay? But the Phillies, obviously.
The guy swung on a 2-0 pitch.
No. The Phillies manager sits there, and they want the run. So they come out and appeal
That he got hit?
that it grazed his butt. So then it's is any of the cloth on the back of his uniform. So they do this, and it takes a minute or 2 to look at that. And guess what Bearcloth did during that time? Threw a few pitches, and now he at least knows where the strike zone is. It helped him. Yeah. So he goes strike 1, strike 2, and then he hits a little one. I mean, he gets fooled on a 3-2 pitch, and it goes off the end of the bat, almost right back at the pitcher, and he can't field his position because he's falling off here. The shortstop gets it and makes a ridiculous play, gets the out at first.
So run scores, tie game.
Tie game, okay.
2 outs, second and third.
I don't think it was the first pitch. I think it was the second pitch that Franco hit into the left field seats, but I know he didn't see a third pitch. It was either the first pitch, the 3-run walk-off, or the second pitch. I think it was the second pitch. Literally crushed it. But and my wife sits there and looks at me and says, "How'd you know?" I just laughed. Yeah. It was 2-1. There was no way.
No.
So he has now blown 5 saves in his last 6 save opportunities since July 2nd.
Well, so way to go. He hates the Braves.
So that is why you have a PHA right there in red with a half game by Atlanta.
Well, I didn't think, we'll talk a little bit in the second half, get into the trade stuff since we weren't here last week for the end of the trade
Hall
stuff
of Fame
with Bob, and also talk about.
Are we there?
We got a minute. Got a little bit over a minute to go.
Yeah, it was, and we'll wrap up with the Marlins because we've been talking about the Braves. But I'll tell you what, Real Muto is a heck of a player.
Yeah.
And if he was on any decent team, and Bohr hit a bomb last night, his season was cut short by injury last year, but he was well on his way to 30+ home runs. And you look at Stanton and Ozuna were on the All-Star team last year. Yelich on the All-Star team this year. I mean, Derek Jeter was handed a nice team to work with.
And he dealt them all away.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
They were young.
Yeah, and I don't know why. It wasn't like, I guess maybe they didn't think they had enough money to pay the contracts, or I don't know why Jeter did it. Maybe you can come on and tell us, Derek, why you decided.
Our invite to you. Yeah.
That's not our research stat. That's our guest, our special guest.
Special guests are back in the back, right?
And they'll work on that. Get Jeter on the phone.
Jeter. Okay.
Yeah, right. That's not going to happen ever.
It's the only thing that's going to save the show.
Jeter. Well, then
Anybody.
We're done. We're done.
We need big.
We're done then. If that's the case, we're done because our crack team does not get anybody.
Well,
Except maybe a couple of crackheads off the corner. Perhaps they will come to us.
Right. Yeah, that'd be good.
It's possible.
not anymore because Bud Selig made sure there's no more crack in baseball.
Right.
He cleaned it up.
Yeah, there's not very much.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
He cleaned the sport up.
Oh man. Well, hey, listen, we'll come back. The second half, we'll talk about experience in Wrigley, and we'll talk about the trade deadline, and we'll be right back after this.